Hey guys, happy Tuesday. This is my new hair. It is up. It is a little messy, but I'm doing my makeup anyways, so we are going to get started. I am going to wipe off my face, get any like excess makeup I've had on earlier, dirt, anything like that off. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you a scary story while I do my makeup. I thought that would be fun. I get to do something I love doing and talk about something that I've gone through. And then I will also be doing my makeup. So that's what we're gonna do. So to get like all my the dirt and everything off, I use the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I use that for everything. To get my makeup off, all that fun stuff. It works really nice. It's not no heavy smells or anything like that. It's just super cooling, especially if it's like a hot day or anything like that. So I'm just gonna brush my hair real quick here. I am gonna put it back up though. So I just put up my hair just so that I can do my makeup. So here we go. So the story starts out, it was actually here that it happened. I was in high school and I was by myself. It was when I hurt my ankle for the first time. That's a whole other story, so if you don't know what happened to my ankle, 9 years after I did it, they finally were like, yeah, you tore 4 ligaments in your ankle. Had to have reconstructive surgery because my muscle in my calf grew down into my ankle to kind of like protect itself. And then I had 4 cysts in my ankle as well from me walking on it and not taking care of it, because everyone said I was nothing was wrong with it, blah 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 blah. So at this time I was in on crutches, and I had one of those air cast boots, and I couldn't really walk very well, so I was sitting on my couch. So if you've never been in my house, we have a formal living room upstairs, and then we have downstairs another like rec room sitting area, like where our TV is and all that, and that's where I was. I was sitting there watching TV. I was by myself. It was a Friday, so everyone was out. It was football season, so in high school, you know, you go to the football games. So my sister, brother, mom, dad, they were all at football games, whether it be Hoover or Glen Oaks. And I was by myself. I mean, my Nana was at home, but she stayed in her room. And as I'm sitting there, I could hear someone upstairs, which where I'm sitting in the rec room, upstairs would be my brother's room and my old bedroom where I slept at the time. Not downstairs in the basement. So I could hear something walking around upstairs, and I knew no one was up there. I had all my dog was with me. Yeah, my dog was with me, that was it. So at that time we didn't have cats. We had Princess, our black lab, and that was it. That's all we had. And she was laying with me. So all of a sudden we could hear walking. And when I say we, because she popped up her head and was looking up, as in she could hear it, and she started barking. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, look, I'm by myself, I don't need this right now, like, please just go away. Well, that didn't happen. All of a sudden, instead of it going away like I asked, I could actually hear it come down the stairs, stop, as if they were looking down the other set of stairs at me, and then I could hear it come down those stairs and just stand. Like, it was just right there. Like, I couldn't see anything. I just knew I could feel it. Like, it was cold. It was colder. I didn't... The reason it scared me is because, and like, it just wanted to, I think, be like, no, like, I'm not going anywhere kind of thing. And then I asked again, I'm like, please, I'm by myself. I can't walk. Just, please just stop being so loud. It got a little quiet after. I called my mom. I'm like, wow, this friggin' ghost is really wild tonight. Now I was kind of telling her what happened. And as I was telling her what happened, I could hear the walking again upstairs. And I'm just like, yeah, this crap, like, just needs to end tonight. Like, I was just not in the mood. I was in pain. Didn't really want to deal with it. But at the same time, I was also so used to it being there that I thought if I asked nicely, it would, you know, chill. But it, maybe it had an attitude too that night. Who knows? But as I was telling my mom, I could hear the walking upstairs. My dog went up the stairs and started barking up the other set of stairs, going upstairs to the bedrooms. And I'm just like, are you guys coming home soon? Because I just don't want to deal with this crap alone right now. You know? When you don't feel good, you just don't want to deal with crap. And I didn't want to deal with it. So, like, they went out to eat. They were bringing me food home. So, I was like, okay. So then, fast forward the same year, I'm dropping stuff. Fast forward the same year, I'm off the crutches, off the boot. I'm downstairs in my basement playing on our desktop computer. And I came up, and my mom was still up, and she said, hey, I'm not going to bed yet. I'm gonna finish this movie, and then I'm gonna go. I'm like, okay. She goes, but be careful, don't fall. It's dark. And when she said that, our kitchen light came on. And I was already turned the corner going up the second flight of stairs, and I stopped because out of the corner of my eye, I saw the light flip on. And all I heard was Kayla, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, did you do that? And I'm like, no. And she's like, you're not going to bed yet. Come up here, or come down here. So I stayed with her, and that same night, I was just like, I don't know, I'm telling you, I keep seeing shadows in that kitchen. So, what I did is, when her movie was over, I took my phone, and I was using the flash and camera to see if I could see anything. Well, when I flashed the camera, like when the camera flashed, I could see this thing standing by my sink, and I'm like, words were coming out of my mouth that probably shouldn't have been coming out of my mouth, and I like booked it the other direction, and then I took another one facing, so when you walk into my house, the first thing you see is a bench and our kitchen table. There's a wall, like a little cutout. By the bench, I took the picture, and there was like this blob of black shadow. It looked like it was crawling, actually, on the floor. So then I ran back downstairs with my mom, and I'm like, they're just messing with us. And honestly, it liked to mess with us. Like, my mom would think I was calling her some days and I wasn't, or my Nana would think that my mom was calling her and she wasn't. And I told you that story where I could hear my Nana screaming for me and she wasn't even home. So it liked to mimic our voices, which wasn't cool. But it hasn't done that in a long time. So we do live by a cemetery, so I always thought that maybe things kind of came in and out of the house. The only one that I know that is around always is the one that my cousin calls the master. And I don't know if it's that who does the mimicking of the voices or who it is, to be honest with you. But sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Especially when you hear it quite often. Our basement door has slammed all by itself. We saw our door, it was a group of us sitting at our kitchen table, and we saw something literally walk past, walk out, open our door, and it like left. It scared everybody but me. It didn't scare me because it didn't feel bad. Usually I can tell, not usually, I can tell when something is just being not mean but mischievous, and then I can tell when it's just there and just like, yeah, hi, I'm here, but not really wanting to do anything towards you, if that makes sense. So that was that. But there's a lot of things that have happened in this house. I've seen stuff, like I'll turn my TV off and I can see something beside me. I have dreams of a little girl. It's actually kind of weird because it's every April. I get the same dream of a little girl who was killed in a bathtub. She was drowned. And she asks me for help. It's the same dream, same time, every year. I've looked online, could never find anything. But she's also wearing clothes from a past era. So I don't know if it's something just messing with me, trying to make me think it's a little girl. I don't know. I've started seeing things since I was 7, so when we moved into this house. I would see something standing behind my door, a very tall man, and I felt protected with him. Like, I didn't feel scared. I mean, as a 7-year-old, like, when you see a shadow, like, obviously it's gonna scare you a little bit, but at the same time, I knew he wasn't there to hurt us, me and my sister, because we shared a room at the time. That he was just kind of like checking in. So I always would say that it was my grandpa, who I never got to meet. But you know, it's been going on since I was 7. So I'm 27, so it's been 20 years this year. The other thing that I like feel and see is when I do walk by the cemetery. I've seen things watch me or follow me back to my house. And that's what I'm saying, like, I don't know if things come in and out from there. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, it's a cemetery. I can walk to it. It's pretty close. But sometimes you have a spooky feeling when you pass through the cemeteries. Sometimes you don't. I was actually telling one of my friends the story of the little girl, and there was no wind, no nothing. All of a sudden, you just heard bells ringing. So we followed the noise and we went towards this grave, and it had little bells, and it was actually a stone of a little girl. Now, did that freak me out a little bit? Yes, because I was like, wow. Like, are you trying to tell me you're the little girl? But, like, unless she, and I don't want to be mean and say if she was poor, but like if she was poor and she just wore what they had, it's possible. But she passed away when she was 4 and I was 7. So when I moved there, which makes sense because that's when I started seeing things. I didn't start having the dreams though until I was 10 or 11. So there's that. But I'm trying to think of what kind of makeup look I want to do. I have my Blush Crush palette from ColourPop. I have my Naked Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. And then I have my Truly Madly Deeply palette from ColourPop. I don't know. I should have thought of that. Let's see. Maybe I should do a dark look since I'm talking, like, you know, telling a dark, scary story. Let's do that. I wish I had a really pretty, like, sparkly purple, though. Hold on. I probably do. I have so many palettes, it's scary. It's actually kind of a problem. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's a problem. Oh, I do. I think I have a sparkly one. And this palette. Dark purple. Dark purple sparkly? Yeah, right there. Oh, that green would be pretty with that green. I think I know what I'm gonna do. All right, we're gonna be using 2 palettes. So we're gonna be using my Morphe palette that I have and my Naked Urban Decay palette. All right. So anywho, back to my stories. So this is just gonna be a bunch of stories while I do my makeup. The next thing I want to talk about would probably be my blanket. So I was in my room and I had this Hoover blanket, and for some reason it was kind of, we had like bunk beds and it was kind of like tucked, and I just thought it was stuck on something. So like I went to like grab it and it didn't come, and then I grabbed it again and it came, but then something yanked it, and I'm like, guess I don't need that blanket tonight. So I didn't use it. Some people, I mean, I'm sure people are gonna say like, you let it win sometimes, which I probably did. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't. I probably most definitely gave it more power than I should have. But I didn't really know how to communicate with them until I would say probably correctly, not even correctly, to the point where they would listen, is what I should say would be 2-3 years ago. I think before they just knew I was the more sensitive of the bunch. Me and my sister, I would say, are the more sensitive of the bunch. And they like to mess with us because even my sister, like when we were again in the bunk beds, she was upstairs and by herself, and she really wanted me to hurry, and she kept saying, hurry Kayla, hurry, because she didn't like being in there by herself at night. And the closet doors started to shake, so it knew she was scared. Like it was playing off of that fear, which isn't nice, but it did. I'm also not gonna sit here and say that whatever's in my house is evil, because I don't know if it is or not. I think if it was evil, I would be in worse shape than I am. So I honestly do not know what it is. I've never used a Ouija board here. We have done EVPs here. That is the closest thing we've ever done that we've ever done to communicate. We've used our radio as well because it likes to turn on our music, but I sage my house. I sage it because I don't like negative energy in the house, and it feels more peaceful here when I do it. I think protecting your spirit and your soul is very important. That's why I wear crystals. That's why I burn sage. That's why I have a white candle. But you have to know what you're dealing with, and a lot of people don't know what they're dealing with. They just think it's all fun and games until it's not all fun and games. And then that's when you get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be smart with how you communicate with things, and not piss anything off. Because a lot of times people piss things off, and that's what gets you in trouble, is pissing it off. I'm very hesitant right now because I don't want to use straight black, but I think I'm going to bite the bullet and do it. I just think you have to be smart in how you're communicating and how you address certain situations, because you don't know what you're dealing with until, honestly, it's too late. And you don't ever want it to be too late to fix something. I know this looks like a lot of black, I promise. It's not as scary as it looks. You just gotta be smart with how you do things. And that is how I've been for years. I try to educate myself before I do anything. And I watch a lot of paranormal ghost hunting shows to kind of see everyone's learning techniques. I've wanted to do the one experiment where you take it's kind of like a radio, it's static, and it's a way for spirits or ghosts to communicate. Tell us what you're looking for. Tell me why, why are you here? Why have you been here for 20 years, God. Why have you been bothering me for the last 20 years, kind of thing, you know what I mean? I would probably never use a Ouija board. It's not something I find appealing. It honestly scares me because you don't, like I said, you don't know what you're opening up. You don't know what you're communicating with. You really don't. You don't know. Oh, God. Right now it looks like I have black eyes, but I promise it won't look that bad. Alright. I'm not gonna close that. So, like I said, like I would never mess with a Ouija board. I am using concealer for this look because I want a high pigmented look, color, I should say. Alright, I'm gonna pick this back up again. So, I think if I would ever get into investigating, like actually investigating my house, I would honestly just do it to learn, not do it to conjure anything crazy. I've done a lot of research on my house, and there is not a lot of information. So like I said, the only thing I can think of is that it is the cemetery causing the things I see. Okay, so I'm going in with this silvery metallic-y base first. Kind of look like an alien. Sorry, I get focused into the makeup and I start not talking. There are just things that we don't really know about the afterlife and what we're getting ourselves into. It's probably why I'm doing more of a futuristic kind of makeup look. So neon colors, black. I'm probably gonna put some purple. And I got this really awesome green I'm gonna be using, and that's what this base is for. What other things can I tell you about? I don't know, like there's a lot of things that I've been through, that I've seen in this house, and like I don't want to tell you all the stories because, you know, I'd like to save them for their own video, but there are a lot of things that this house has done to all of us. But there's also things that I love about this house at the same time. Well, and with the abilities that I have. I've seen my grandparents in my dreams. I've seen friends that have passed. I actually saw one of my friends when I had surgery. We were back in high school, and I had already been out of high school for a year, and he didn't even graduate. He moved away, but he was in my, I guess, dream when I was under anesthesia, and he asked me to skip class with him, which is funny because I never skipped class. And I told him I couldn't because we were having a test that day, and he hugged me, and as soon as he walked away from me is when I woke up from surgery, and it was kind of crazy. But because I like woke up and I didn't know where I was. Like I didn't even remember that I was having surgery. There's the green I wanted. I told you I did a really futuristic makeup look. I wanted to do real like neon and sparkly, metallic-y, I should say. I love a good 90s makeup look. I think they're fun, a little crazy, but overall a good time. I am gonna put liner on, don't worry. I know this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but this palette, the Ultraviolet palette, is probably one of my favorite new palettes that I've gotten. So I hope you enjoyed my stories and watching me do my makeup. Yeah, it's literally the galaxy. That's what I was going for. But I really do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love just messing with makeup. It puts me at ease. Settles my anxieties. And I find it amusing. Wow, did that make my eyes green? I am going to take my, what's this called? Deluxe brush here though. And go up here and kind of just like so. And then I'm gonna sit that there. The eyeliner I use, it is liquid liner. And the other palette I used was the Morphe Bejeweled palette. Another favorite. But anywho, the mascara and liner I'm going to use, I will show you. The liner is Better Than Sex Too Faced liquid liner. It looks like that. If you guys want to hear any other stories, you are more than welcome to suggest any story you want to hear. I have multiple stories, like I said. I'm also probably going to do a lot more of these makeup videos and just do makeup and just talk. Maybe review some of them, like review products. But the mascara I'm going to use is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, which I love this stuff. Love. The brush, I got this in my birthday thing from Sephora. The brush is gorgeous and separates my lashes beautifully. It actually has made my lashes grow. I would love to try Glamnetics lashes. I use a liquid liner anyways, so I know how to put those on. I can't use lash glue because I am allergic to it. But I am super into like great lashes, and these magnetic liner lashes are something that I would like to invest in, because I just think with my makeup looks, I think they would look a lot better. But yeah, the lipstick that I'm gonna use is a Milk Cosmetics lipstick. I'm going to line my lips as well. So let me grab that real quick. Do I need to sharpen? I do. All right. The liner I'm using is Kylie Jenner's liner Kylie. It looks like that. And then I do need a mirror for that to line my lips. Actually, this is probably one of my favorite lip liners. It's super smooth, gives me exactly what I'm looking for, but you probably don't really care. You came to see me talk about scary stories. And I promise, next Tuesday, more of those will come out. Also, comment below if you have any questions for me, like how I knew I could feel things, or anything you are curious about, I will answer. I really am not like, there's nothing I wouldn't answer. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The cool thing about nude lipsticks is you can play around with it. I will be putting lip gloss over it, don't worry. Yeah, so if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will answer them on my next video. So my next video is gonna be a Q&A. So ask anything you want. Like I said, I will answer anything I can. The best of my ability, I will answer it. Alright. A little lip gloss. Just like that. Makes it look holographic, which I love. Like I said, I'm very into the 90s thing. So I'm gonna take my hair down. It does look darker. It's really not. There's a lot of blonde in it. But I did more of the ashy look, and I love it. But there is a lot of blonde. You just can't see it with this lighting. But I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. I love doing my makeup, and I love telling my crazy ghost stories that I have. So again, next video, next Tuesday, we're gonna do a Q&A. So if you have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit that bell button. And thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. It means so much to me. But after that, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.